my fellow comic book collectors. It's Alan, the Comic Collector Geek, and this is part 7 of this unboxing series. 14 parts, lots of stuff to go through. This part, part 7, 8, and 9, are all going to be sort of a minor theme within the theme of this unboxing. They're all going to be my comic shop orders, and I guess I bought a ton from my comic shop, so I call this the mini series of Ding within the big unboxing. And I bought a ton of stuff you wouldn't believe. I didn't realize how much stuff I had bought from my comic shop. So just this one part is this many books. So let's get into it. I'm going to show you a bunch of stuff. There's some pretty cool stuff that I did some research to find, and I kind of got into some little rabbit hole. and I'll explain. The very first book is actually about that, so you'll see. Okay, just one sec here. So one of the artists that kind of in a way defines Disney comics, and considered to be probably the best artist slash writer for Disney, was Charles Barks. And he basically, you know, produced amazing stuff. Uncle Scrooge, he did some stuff for like Donald Duck, and he was just an amazing writer. Well, when he started out, he was like, he had no formal training, and he basically was looking for work. He was trying to get started. He found that there was a company in Calgary, Canada, that was willing to give him a try, and they were just a very small publication called the Calgary Eye Opener. And I'm going to pull out the book to show you over there. And this is actually the Calgary Eye Opener. And I picked this up. This is, I believe, maybe the issue before he started. So this doesn't necessarily have Carl Barks in it. I'm not sure. I'm going to check. So I was kind of curious because to find his first artwork in the Calgary Eye Opener is actually quite challenging. It's quite rare. These Calgary Eye Openers in general are quite rare. But he started in the Calgary Eye Opener, and he did, you know, work for them. Take it out, and basically it was like some semi-risque book. Like they would have, like, you know, little cartoons and stuff. I'll show you some of the stuff inside, but in somewhere in this there might be Carl Barks. I said Charles. I meant Carl Barks. I was just talking about Charles Adams in the previous unboxing, so it's on my mind. So yeah, but I meant Carl Barks. But basically, Carl Barks took over as editor at one point for the Calgary Eye Opener, and they really wanted him to stay at the Calgary Eye Opener, but he left to work at Disney. Even though it was a bit of a pay cut, he thought it was a bigger opportunity for his career. I can't really find anything Carl Barks related in here. But one of the later issues of this series, and it ran for many, many years, actually, the Calgary Eye Opener. Not necessarily the best managed publication out there, but it was one that... you know, was the book that the magazine series that started his career. So yeah, I don't know, just kind of an interesting one. I was curious, like, if my sources were correct, if this was early Charles Barks or Carl Barks, or or that he appeared later. So it was one of those things where it wasn't necessarily 100% accurate, like, and I wanted to buy, like it wasn't expensive, buy an issue to find out if his artwork might have appeared earlier. It looks like it didn't, so it's a little bit disappointing. If it was one of those things where I found the earlier appearance of his stuff, I think it was like, this is March. I think he appeared in August, so a few months earlier. A few months later was his stuff. Okay, so this next set of books is pretty interesting. It's random stuff, but we'll get into it. Okay, so I collect Infinity covers. I collect homage covers. I collect a lot of cover-related gimmicks. Well, one of the comic-related gimmicks that I like is 3D. And I picked up this cool 3D one, but it's not just 3D. It's an 3D Infinity cover. So it's doubly cool. So you got a 3D comic and Infinity cover. So, you know, what's better than 3D? Well, 3D to the infinity. So this is it's still in the poly bag, so it has its glasses and it's complete. But I just thought it was cool, and it has like Donald Duck and Uncle Scrooge. Can't go wrong. So wow, and you'll see Barks as well. I just was talking about him. Okay, so yeah, so that's the first one, and then this next one's interesting. So I actually really enjoyed the X-Men 97 series. And so I was picking up various keys related to the series. And one of the things that happened was there was like this island where all the mutants were sort of hanging out and living. And then these evil sentinels came, and they're like these three-headed sentinels. And they were called the Tri-Sentinels. And this is the comic where those characters made their first appearance. So this is Amazing Spider-Man number 329, the first appearance of the Tri-Sentinel. So, and I think there's some other one, the pink one, that made its first appearance in that one. Okay. And this is just a really cool cover. This was a cover by... I think I was searching for something else, and then I saw this. This is called Witch, and it's a Jim Ballant cover. He later did Tarot, but I just thought it was a cute one. I paid like $2. It was not a big deal, but I thought it was an interesting cover. It was a bit sexy and interesting. And then we got the next few. Okay, one sec here. Let's see if I have them all. Yeah, I think I do. Okay. Are issues where at one point Storm loses her powers, and that actually happens in the X-Men series. It's from issues, I believe, 83 or 4, somewhere around there, like 80, maybe 84, and then all the way up to 88 or something like that, like 188. So 84, 184 to 188 era, that kind of range. And that's where you get the appearance of Forge and all those characters, and that try to help Storm regain her powers. And she actually loses her powers longer than that. She regains them later, but she's without her powers for quite a long time. But this is part of that series. I had the other issues. This is 185. And I think there's also key appearances in here. And then this is 187. I think this is the first appearance of this dude, who is the kind of the weird bird creature in the movie, the TV series. Oh my goodness. So yeah, so just you see him torturing her, and you see Colossus in the background, and yeah. So this is X-Men 187 and X-Men 188. So yeah, so just a bunch of from that little run where Storm loses her powers. Okay, now we get some other ones. I think this was some spec one, The Girl in the Bay, or maybe it was just one I thought was a cool cover. I'm not sure what it was. I just thought it was an interesting one. Don't know anything about it. Just a cool book. This is what happens. Like, I see something for $1 or $2. I'm like, I'll throw it in my cart. And then I buy it. Yeah. Oh, well. And then we got some Marble Age. And again, I like infinity covers. You'll notice this is an infinity cover. So it's another one of these infinity covers to add to my collection. So I have like a whole box devoted to infinity covers. And this is just another one to throw in. It's a pretty weak infinity cover, because you can see this is kind of a very crude drawing of the book, but it would be considered an infinity cover. So that's that one. And this one, I forgot what, there's a character that made their first appearance in it, but it's also an homage cover that I thought was pretty cool. This is X-Men Deadly Genesis. And I'll put in the description of the video. When I don't remember what the key appearances are, look in the description. After I record, I usually put it there just because I don't always remember off the top of my head. So, yeah. But I thought this was a cool homage regardless of whether or not it's a key. So, that's... And speaking of odd keys, this one's an interesting one. And this is a very these, I think these are like ugly balls. I think that's the name of them. So this is the first appearance of these characters in comics, and they just happen to make their first appearance in the Care Bears. Mad Balls. That's what they're called. Mad Balls. It says right up here. That's how I knew. Mad Balls. Yeah, so they were kind of these weird, like, balls. Like, I remember them in the bubblegum machines. They would basically take up the little bubblegum, like, little case that they would put them in. They put them in the plastic little case, and then you take them out, and it's just like a ball that was ugly like these things. So, yeah. And I remember even seeing the eyeball one. I've seen that one. I had, like, a couple of them as a kid. I'd beg my mom for for like a quarter or 50 cents or whatever it was at the time to buy one of these silly eyeball things. I thought they were cool. I don't know. It was a thing. So it's weird that they appeared in the Care Bears of all the comics to appear in. It's like the weirdest. So yeah, the Care Bears. Number 13. A good issue number to appear in. If you're going to appear as a weird kind of scary character, number 13 is probably the best one. I mean, look at this. I mean, this is Care Bears. Care Bears is like, lovey-dovey and silly. But look at this one. This is eyeballs popping out. It's just crazy. Actually, that was the other thing. I think you could squeeze the mad balls and their eyes would pop, it was a thing. Okay, that was actually an expensive book. Strangely enough. I'll actually tell you the price on it. I kind of, wanted to get that first appearance. I just thought it was cool. It was like $40. That was 38 if I want to be exact. But, pretty pricey book. Believe it or not, though, I checked on eBay and they were going for really expensive. I was like, this is crazy. So I picked it up on my comic shop. And it's a nice copy, actually. It's quite high grade. Okay. Next, a whole bunch more books. Oh my goodness. Okay, I gotta speed up the process here. So we got, I forgot which, I think this is the first appearance of Babs. This is Bugs Bunny album, number 4, so 4 color 498. And this is the first appearance of Babs, which is the love interest for Bugs Bunny. So yeah. I thought that was kind of cool. I like picking up these weird first appearances. This one's really rough. So secret. This was part of an auction that I won. They had like their, I forgot which, like April Prime auction, and then I won this one cheap. It was really cheap. But it's like all penciled and stuff, and I think they made it look like she's vomiting, which is not what she's doing. it isn't what she's doing now. So this is the Deadly Diamond, Secret Mysteries. It's nice pre-code horror stuff. That's Secret Mysteries number 17. And this is another series that I'm actually trying to complete, which is Crime Mysteries. I actually have a pretty good run of this now. This is Crime Mysteries, I believe number 6. Number 9. I was off. But I found a really nice copy on my comic shop, and I was like, oh, wow. And every time I try to buy this on eBay, like, people want a crazy price. So I just thought it was a really nice one, and I picked it up. So there's that. And then we got Web of Mystery. This is Ace Comics. And this one is, what does it say? Number 10, from, I believe it's from like 1952 or 53. So just one of these ones where, this is a trope in a lot of the pre-code horror comics where a pretty girl looks into the mirror and she sees like an ugly witch or a skeleton or something. So yeah, it's a bit of a trope. And then we got, this one is a shark cover. I like shark covers. I thought it was a cute one. It was cheap, so why not? This is Uncle Milty, like Milton Burrows. And yeah, it's a great shark cover. I thought it was really cute. And this one is an interesting one. There's a bit of controversy about this one. This is All True Crime, number 31. And so what it is, you've got this girl along the side of the road, and she's kind of luring the cars to come. And then her friends in the back will mug them, okay? Well, somebody, I think it was Ryan from Automatic Comics, who is saying that it kind of looks like a man. I'm not sure. I'm gonna, and my friend Steven was saying, no, it's a girl. I don't know. What do you think? Is it a man or is it a woman? You tell me in the comments. I don't know. I think it looks like a woman, kind of. But the face, the jawline, kind of is like a man. So, I don't know. I'm going to zoom in so you can see. You guys decide. Is it a woman or a man dressed like a woman to lure unsuspecting cars in? But the police are going to get them anyway, so I guess you'd have to read inside whether it's a man or a woman. That's the only way you'll find out. Okay. So then, I was mentioning this many times that I've been collecting these Marvel titles. One of the titles that I'm really trying to focus in terms of getting all the Good Girl Marvel comics would be Tessie the Typist. She's kind of my favorite character. Nellie the Nurse I like too, actually, but Tessie the Typist. This is number 15, and I just think she looks cute. And I like this one. You got her there, and the guy's like going all crazy for her. I think it's really cute. What do they say? And notice the sleek body style, gentlemen, and the trim lines. She's saying that, and like he's like, oh yeah, I noticed those trim lines and the sleek body. It's like, and the wife's going, Egbert, it's the car she's referring to. I just think that's really cute. Okay. And another interesting one, and this becomes like my title later, is Western Thrillers. Actually, it was my friend Steven that told me about this title. So I found a really nice Good Girl art cover for it. And these were from Fox Featured Syndicate, and they would feature like Cayman or somebody like that would have done the cover. Just a really cool one. Western Thrillers. I don't think that's Cayman though. I'm not sure who did this cover. Okay, and then we got another auction win. I won a bunch at the auctions. Was Haunted Thrills. So really great PCH collection I picked up in the auctions that they had. I thought this one was really cool. You got the skull screaming at the girl and the witch. And just a really cool cover. So this is Haunted Thrills number 12. I thought it was a cool one. There should be a bunch in here then. Okay, another series that I'm really close to finishing is Babe. And I think it ran like 11 issues. And I have almost all of them. I think I'm missing 2. So this is Babe number 7. And she was a character created by Roger Boogie. I got it backwards in my mind. Booty Rogers. And Booty Rogers basically was like a bit of a hick, I guess is the best way to say it. And he drew hick characters and was kind of playing up on his own roots. So yeah, just she was like super strong, and she'd she'd play baseball, she'd play football, she'd go into boxing matches, and she was just like this, overpowered girl. And it was that was part of the gag of it. So yeah, so Babe number 7. Okay. Oh, I forgot what this is. I believe, yeah, it is. Okay, this is Cass and Jammer's Kids number 1. It's the first of, and this is Captain the Kids. That's Cass and Jammer. It translates to Captain and the Kids. Now, one of the first books that I got as a child, that was an older book, not like a brand new comic, was a comic from my grandmother. And she gave me Captain and the Kids number 1, which was like a square bound book. And so when I saw this one, it was not expensive. I figured, hey, why not pick it up? It's kind of cool. So I have a little bit of a nostalgic feel for Cass and Jammer and Kids, because that's the book that I got first. Well, got it from my grandmother. And that's from 1947. And this one was interesting. This one, Stephen and I both were bidding on this one. And he sort of let me win at the end because he ended up picking up the other copy. There was 2 copies on my comic shop. And he picked up the other one. I'm like, well, we're both bidding on this one. Like, I was going to let him have this one and then buy the other one, but then he bought the other one. So I was like, okay, well, are you going to let me win this one? So he let me win this one. It was a bit of a weirdness thing there going on. So this is Mysteries Weird and Strange, and it's just a really cool one. So this is number 10, and it's from Superior, which is a Canadian publisher. But it kind of reminds me of The Thing, from the Addams Family. In the previous video, I was showing like the first appearance of The Thing, and this is before that. But definitely has that Thing look. It's a hand that's walking by itself, and has kind of a Thing look to it. And then you get the good girl too, so right up my alley. So I just thought this was really interesting. So that's Mysteries Weird and Strange, and another cool book is a great EC one. This is Crime Suspense Stories number 26, and I believe this is the second last issue of the run, either the last or second last. And I've been trying to get the run. This is one so what I'm doing with EC is I actually really like EC comics, so I'm trying to get one title. I figure if I get one title, focus on getting one title, and then that will be like kind of a cool little collection of EC comics, which would be to just have a complete run of one title. And Crime Suspense Stories, I just happen to have like a bunch, because I got the ones from the Sodi, I got the ones from the Senate investigation hearings, and I had this little run of Crime Suspense Stories. So then I figured, hey, why not just get all the issues that I'm missing? And this is one of the issues that I was missing. And I think it presents really, really well. This is Crime Suspense Stories number 26. And who did the art? Oh, it's Cayman art. Very cool. I didn't realize he worked on Crime Suspense Stories, actually. Okay. I have to remember what the key is about this book. This one's an interesting one. I have to think about it. So this is Peanuts, number 969. And I believe this is like either the third or fourth appearance of the Peanuts in comics. So it's early Peanuts appearance. And you got, Charlie Brown reading the ABCs upside down. So I guess he's not much of a reader. And then you got Snoopy. And Snoopy at this time, you can see, is very different than the Snoopy nowadays. The more advanced looking Snoopy. But yeah. Just a really cute one. Nice Charles Schultz cover. And then, I think I mentioned this before, but I'll mention it again. I like Infinity covers. And one of the grails of the Infinity covers is a Disney one. And it's this book right here. This is Walt Disney Comics and Stories, number 33. And it's just a really great Mickey and Donald Duck Infinity cover. Just a really cool one, and it's well done. So some Infinity covers, the second version is you can barely tell that it's going to repeat, and then this one you can see quite well how it repeats really nicely. It's a good Infinity cover. This is from probably 42. I'm going to guess 42, 43, maybe 44, somewhere around there, early 40s basically. A pretty early Infinity cover. Okay, we got 2 more to go. This is a bit of a longer video. This one I just saw and I was like, oh man, it's complete, but it's in really rough shape. This is Intimate Confessions number 1, and it's a 0.5 because the spine is completely split. But it's just a great Good Girl art cover, and this one generally goes for big money, but because it was split and stuff, I got it for how much did I pay? I just want to look it up. Okay, it wasn't expensive. One sec here. I'm gonna actually look it up. Intimate Confessions. Wow, it's really hard to find things. Intimate Confessions, $100. So yeah, I mean that's an expensive book. If you look it up, you'll see what I'm saying. But it's kind of a cool one, and it is complete. It's just, as I said, the spine is split, but the main part, you can't really see it. Let me see if I can take it out, show you it a bit better. I think it's got another. Yeah, I was worried that it was just raw underneath, but it isn't. They just wrapped it well. One sec here. I'll show you. It's a cool cover. It's a nice painted cover. See? There. Now it looks a lot better, probably. So yeah. But it is, you can see, I mean, big chunk missing here, and the spine is completely shot. And a little bit off the top up here. But overall, it's a beautiful cover. Where it matters, it's a beautiful cover. So yeah. So this is Intimate Confessions, number 1. And that was a realistic comic. That was the company that produced it. And this last one was another one I won from the auction. I won most of these from the auction that they had, their sort of April auction. And I've been trying to collect just a few, Canadian Whites. And Canadian Whites were the books that were published in Canada during the war that where basically Canada was not importing books from the US anymore at that time. It was a period of about 10 years or so where there was a trade embargo between Canada and the United States. Well, this book was part of that Canadian White era where they were called Canadian Whites because they printed in black and white. So this is Grand Slam Aces, number 49. So this would be later in that era. A lot of people, they want the monochromatic covers where it's just red and white or something where it's really plain. But these were actually part of the Canadian Whites as well. They were just later in the era. of Canadian whites. This is an Anglo-American press produced these, or AA Comics. It's, I don't know, that was kind of cool. Okay, so that's Grand Slam Aces number 49. And that's it. Those are, it was actually a pretty big haul. I didn't realize it was going to take that long to record this one, but a lot of stuff. I hope you enjoyed it. Actually, I won that one really cheaply. I remember that was really cheap. I was like, yeah, it was like $60 and it's a 5.0. It's a nice high grade too. For Canadian whites, that's super high grade. So it was like really affordable. So again, I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for the next 2 parts of the mini series within the series of all the stuff that I bought from my comic shop, the Ding series. I hope you enjoyed this. Lots more to go. So thanks again for watching. Bye for now.